Going inside Memorial Sports, this is the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. We are in the Panther Fan Zone. Chelsea Hunter's former boss I made her finish up because I said, your boss is going to be here. He's going to get mad at you if you don't let him take his seat. And she was like, she sat up straight and was looking for you before you walked out.
Yeah, she better act right.
Well, she's got a good team. And they've got – we were talking about your son, Jonathan Cooper. Trinity Christian boys have a huge week this week. Well, Monterey girls have a pretty healthy week too. They play Amarillo High and then have to go to Lubbock Cooper. So she may need any encouragement she can get from her old head coach.
She's doing a great job. I'm sure she's got it under control.
Well, you're younger than me, so I can say this. We've exchanged texts. This generation of girls coaches coming now with Chelsea, with Katie Farrell at Coronado, with Morgan Glaspie at Liberty. Man, the girls are in good hands. You guys are in really good hands too. This dude knows a little bit about basketball, but the future of Lubbock basketball, girls wise, is wow.
Yeah, there's a good group of coaches for sure, and a lot of really good players and upcoming players. You know, the junior high teams and stuff in Lubbock are really talented also. So it's going to be a fun few years.
The only guy I can kind of tease is Trent Hilliard. He's older than me, so
he's really old.
Yes, yeah. No doubt. He's like a year older than me. That's way old. Speaking of Trent Hilliard and friendship, before we jump into what you guys did last week and have coming up this week, pretty big news today. Wasn't anything earth-shattering in terms of you guys were going to be a 5A program. Jason Richards told me that. I think the first time I met him, when I came and talked to him on the football field in August, he said, yeah, I've got to get my guys ready to be a 5A football team. Okay. Well, that wasn't a shock. What the mystery that everybody was kind of waiting to see happen was, would the UIL make this a 10-team district for the 5A sports other than football? And they did. You've never been in a 10-team district, I assume.
No.
So it's going to be new to you. It's going to be new to the girls. You're going to have to play good teams anyway, but in that district, starting probably before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, 18 district games. And, you only get 21 games with UIL, so we only have 3 non-district games outside of tournaments. You
guys can, I was going to say, you still can play Caprock in one other tournament?
Well, if the timing's right, we can play 3 total tournaments.
Okay.
But it'll be kind of weird playing a tournament in between district games. That'll be new.
It's going to be new, and with all due respect to everybody else in your district, and I know Jake Bell comes from a great background, and he's going to get Levelland going to be what Levelland's always been, but right now it's you and Liberty, and you and Morgan have games where the 2 games against each other have been great. The rest of the district, it's been your girls, you want them to play hard, but it's the level of competition is maybe not as feisty as it could be. Next year, man, I told Chelsea, y'all are going to earn your paychecks next year.
Yeah, there won't be any nights off. That's for sure.
Nope.
You have to be on your game the whole year, and that's what and I think these girls right here next to me would agree. Like when you're competitive, you don't want nights off. You'd rather go in there and fight and have a great game, and it just feels different. When you win a game that's a 5 or 10 point game, it just feels different.
Yep. Well, that's a good segue because Kiana grabbed that mic. What Coach just said, that's what I was going to ask you. You got a lot of business to take care of this year still, so we're going to focus more on that the rest of the way. But you're only going to be a junior next year, both of y'all, right? Or you're going to be a junior or a senior? Nope, junior, because there are no juniors at Liberty right now. Have you started to thinking about what it's going to be like to walk into Monterey's gym on a Friday night with a little bit more meaning to it, or walking into Coronado, or walking into Lubbock Cooper, or walking into the Tiger Pit, which is going to be kind of weird for you, I bet. But how cool is that going to be where every game starting November or something is going to have a lot of weight to it?
I've thought about it a little bit, actually a lot today, and I'm excited. I think it'll be fun and more challenging than what it is currently. West Texas girls basketball is really good. Coach has coached his own daughter. He's coaching you guys. He can vouch. He can tell you I'm telling the truth. That spotlight's going to be on Lubbock next year more than ever. Are you excited about being part of that the next 2 years? Yes, sir.
What do you think? How much do you think that's going to make you guys focus even more on the off season? I'm going to bet he gets you to work in the off season, but how much more do you have to focus now?
A lot.
What will you have to get better at
you have, like I said, you have some stuff to finish this season. But what are you going to, as a team, what do you think you'll have to do even better starting next year?
Make sure we play our game all the time.
Which is working so well, or so far. I've just had you up on the screen. I know you're ranked 15th in TABC. When we come back, we'll talk about you and Liberty jockeying for that top spot, sharing it right now. We're going to come back right after this break in the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
This is the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the Panther Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta. We're on 100.7 The Score, and if you're watching on TV, it's Fox News Now. Jason Cooper, who is actually younger than me, and these two players between us. I don't even know if I got you to introduce them. Let's do that real quick so that folks know who's talking if they're on radio.
All right, we got Kiana Jones. You want them to introduce themselves?
Yep, she can introduce herself too.
I'm Kiana Jones.
I'm Zamaya Johnson.
And you guys are stepsisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
But I just say sisters because I figure if you're living in the same house, you've learned to kind of coexist. Then we can take the step out of the mix. So I saw Kiana play a lot last year. Zamaya, were you sub-varsity at Friendship last year?
Yes, sir.
So you both got some of that experience. And Jason, we've talked about this dozens of times, especially with Kiana and Zosha. How much, every day that goes by, how much does that help you guys to know that they've been through some of this and we're getting to the point of the season where you're going to get into the playoffs? It's not going to be anything foreign to her.
Yeah, it's something like I talked to Amanda, my wife, about, when I took the job, I knew there were a couple of freshmen that played for Friendship, and I really didn't, think much of it. Of like, well, they probably played a little bit here and there kind of deal. And to come in and have, Zosha and Key, do so well this year. And then Zamaya's been, she's been a huge surprise for me, I think that her playing on the JV last year helped her a ton because she played a lot of minutes and got a lot of experience. So we're actually able, really probably the first 15 games this year, just to kind of ride their coattails and hang on and just see what happened, and gave our freshmen some time to figure some things out and not have to be perfect. So, I think their experience helped, but also, they kind of have a, they're very competitive, and they hate to lose. And, those are things that are kind of uncommon, with young players. They're just trying to keep their head above water. And these guys have stepped up and, they're taking that leadership role. And, we talk all the time like, hey, you got to do it. There's no Jada Jackson. There's no anybody to shoulder the burden here. You've got to be the one that steps up and does it. And, that's scary at times. And these guys have embraced it. And, we've been in some big moments and against some really good teams, and they've rose to the occasion.
The way you just described it, and I know you went through it twice as a parent. Do either one of you guys drive yet?
I do.
Do you know how nervous your mom was the first time you pulled out of the driveway by yourself?
No.
Trust me, she's very nervous, and that's how coaches probably feels at times. Like, okay, here's the keys. I'm going to turn around and not watch as you pull away, but that's what you've had to do with them.
Yeah.
And I think that's important for what you guys have done. You lost to Liberty. It looked like it was going to not be a very good game, and you guys came back and made it a good game. You guys had to learn from that. You're one of the leaders, Kiana. What did you say to teammates after that game? Because whatever you said, whatever coach said, whatever anybody said, it's sunk in because you guys have been really good since then.
I've just told them we have to start playing from the beginning of the game, and we can't wait till after the meeting and halftime to start wanting to play. And, yeah.
Because I think Memorial and Liberty have helped each other, if that makes sense. You beat them, and they've played really well since then. They beat you in a game. Coach may want to reach over here and smack me. It was a good loss, I thought, because of the way you guys came back.
You want that's the thing. With competitive games, you learn so much from it. When you beat somebody by 30 or 40 points, you can do whatever you want sometimes, and you don't get the negative effects of being in the wrong spot. But like that game against Liberty, a few little mistakes we made early on. That's one of the things we focused on video was how many opportunities did we miss in the first half just for us not being where we're supposed to be. And those numbers added up pretty quick. So it was really good for us, for sure. Because
I know you're a video guy. And once you show young people that on video, this is where it got away from us. It kind of
Yeah.
sinks in a little bit.
Yeah, the video never lies.
Zamai, how different has it been? Coach mentioned you were on Friendships JV last year, and you could lose a game. And I don't want to say it. It's going to sound wrong. JV games are important, but you just get up and the next day you just go to school and do your stuff. Varsity, it kind of sticks with you a little bit longer. How have you kind of learned to adapt? You haven't lost a bunch of games, but you have lost a few. How do you bounce back from those?
I just don't think about that game a lot. I just got to get ready for the next one.
You got big ones coming up this week. I know Estacado, you go to Estacado on Friday. Who do you have tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Big Spring.
So on the road?
No, at home.
Okay, so you don't have to leave town. That's one positive this
Yeah,
week.
for sure.
But Estacado's a team that's, we've talked before, they're dangerous. They can do some different things. They struggled against Liberty because I couldn't put the ball in the net, and that changes the game a lot. So big week for you guys. 3 games left in District 4.
Yep, that's right, 3.
Got some work to do. Tied for first right now. It looks like that's the way things are going to turn out. Knock on wood. We're going to wrap that up with the Panther Fan Zone and come back after this break and talk soccer in the Patriot Fan Zone after this on 100.7 The Score.